One of the content pages for your publication is going to be your letters to the editor. Letters to the editor are your opportunity for your audience, your readers, to contact your publication, say what they like, what they don't like. Just kind of, it's an interesting format because you need to pay attention to the salutation, the dear someone. You have to have some type of body copy. You have to have some type of signature, which makes it a little bit of a more interesting page to lay out design-wise. As far as what I'm looking for, you need to have section headline. So something like letters to the editor. You need to have subheads. It needs to be easy to scan text. No one wants to read that tombstone with text. You need to work your publication logo in there somehow. Maybe it's a watermark. Maybe it's going to be part of your title. You need to have 3 different letters. Each letter needs a salutation, so a Dear Magazine, some type of body, some type of closing, thank you, sincerely, whatever it's going to be, and some type of signature. Signature can be some type of different font or it could just be Joe Schmo. It's totally up to you. I'm looking for you to use those text frame options. Don't use more text frames than is necessary. And I need 3 graphic elements per page. Remember, graphic elements don't always have to be a picture. Graphic elements can be a rule. Graphic elements can be a sidebar. Don't forget those photo and image credits that should look like credits, not like some type of caption. As always, pay attention to that resolution. Do not override your styles on the paragraph and character styles. Looking for no spelling, punctuation, or grammar errors. Make sure you're working in the mode with your spelling on. Make sure you've got that inspiration tear sheet on the pasteboard. Remember, a tear sheet is a layout, not just a pretty picture. Then, as always, make sure it's packaged, saved correctly, and it's appropriate for your audience. So let's take a peek at a few different samples. So if we go into the Google Drive, we're going to see we've got a few different elements here. Let's take a peek at this one. We're going to try and take a peek at this one. All right, so you see here we've got our headline, we've got our contact information, we've got our publication logo, we've got our salutation, we've got our body, we've got our closing, and we've got our signature. So there's quite a few different ways to do this. Now, I don't know that I would necessarily put pictures of the people who are sending the letters in because I don't know that that's something people would do. People would do something like this. They would say, hey, we really liked this idea, so here's my idea of how we put it into use. So it's totally up to you as to how you're going to approach that. There is no length requirement on your letters to the editor, but they do have to have those 3 different letters. When you go to Google Magazine, letters to the editor, layout. Spell it right would be good too. And let's look at some images. Look for some good samples of different types of ways you maybe want to put that page together. The more time you spend, the easier this will be. So let's take a look at this one, Game X. So here we kind of have a running total. We have a title. We've got some type of body text, our signature. This one's more of a editor's note than a letter to the editor. So let's go ahead and take a letter to the editor. Usually it's multiple pieces. These are a lot of editor's notes. So let's go ahead and close that. So letters to the editor are usually to the magazine saying, hey, we really like something going on here. And they're short, to the point, very easy, and maybe it's up to you as to how you're going to use it as far as those other elements go. So you do have those letters to the editor samples in here. As always, don't use the student samples as your own, as your rubrics. Use, find something that is your own, and make sure you're using that InDesign to do the work for you. And that's all you need for your letters to the editor.